Today, I'm going to explain an English language, Spanish drama and disaster movie based on a true story starring Tom Holland called The Impossible. In drama 2004, Dr. Maria Bennett go on a Christmas holiday to Khao Lak, Thailand. She goes with her husband, Henry, and their 3 sons, Lucas, Thomas, and Simon. Once there, they settle on the New Orchid Beach Resort located on the west coast of Thailand. They also see the beautiful scenery around the resort, accompanied by a hotel guide. That night, the family have dinner together to celebrate an unforgettable Christmas Eve. After dinner, they fly hundreds of lanterns while enjoying an amazing vacation there with other tourists. The next morning, Henry and Maria wake their children to open their respective Christmas gifts. After that, they enjoy the beach near the resort by sunbathing, playing ball together and snorkeling to see the beautiful coral reefs. Henry and his children continue their activities by playing in the pool, and Maria reads a book while relaxing. Not long after, a strong wind suddenly blows from the shore, which also blows away a piece of paper that Maria is reading. At the same time, the massive Indian Ocean tsunami inundates the area. Fortunately, Maria manages to cling onto the tree while screaming for help. After a while, she sees Lucas, not far from her, screaming in panic, from being carried away by the current. Because of that, she releases her grip and swims to Lucas, even though she has to hurt her chest from being hit by a tree branch. Lucas also releases his grip, and finally they can gather on a bed. Unluckily, they have to separate again after another wave suddenly comes from the shore. Maria and Lucas eventually emerge from the swirling water and find each other after the tsunami is over. With Maria having sustained serious injuries, they walk ashore to seek help, but they cannot find anyone around them. Since Lucas is worried about another tsunami wave, he suggests climbing one of the big trees nearby. But before that, Maria suddenly hears the voice of a toddler asking for help. They eventually help the toddler from the wreckage. His name is Daniel. Together, they climb a big tree with difficulty while waiting for help. Long story short, the water begins to recede slowly. That tsunami caused houses to be destroyed, trees to fall and claimed many lives. Luckily, they are soon found by the locals who immediately treat their wounds and change their clothes. Maria excitedly thanks them. Afterwards, they are transferred to a hospital in the city of Toccoa, Pennsylvania, by a car. Meanwhile, Daniel is separated from them during the journey because Lucas is only focused on his mother at the hospital. Lucas sees so many people who were seriously injured by the tsunami just now. Therefore, he looks for his mother, who has been taken to a room for treatment. Maria looks shivering and tells Lucas to give her antibiotics. Thankfully, a doctor suddenly comes to treat her wound. After regaining consciousness, Maria encourages Lucas to help others find their family members because she witnesses all the doctors and nurses at the hospital being very busy taking care of all the casualties. Lucas is reluctant at first because it means he will leave his mother alone. But since Maria says she will be fine, Lucas finally complies. He then exits the room in confusion and meets a man who is looking for his son. Lucas is willing to help him and goes around the hospital looking for the boy. But it turns out that many other people also ask his help to find their missing family members. Even he has to write their names in a small notebook. After searching for so long, he finally finds the boy who is the son of the first person he met before. He then explains to the boy that he will call his father here. In the end, the two of them are very happy after being reunited. Because of that, Lucas suddenly remembers for his mother's condition and runs back to the room. However, it turns out that his mother is not in the room. Lucas is worried, especially since his mother's condition has not yet recovered. Furthermore, her bed is occupied by another casualty, making Lucas even more panicked. After that, a nurse calms him down and takes him to a child shelter. She asks Lucas about his identity to make it easier to find his family. On the other hand, Henry and the 2 younger boys have also survived and are together in one of the hotels by the beach. He then persuades Thomas and Simon to join the local relief crews to take refuge in a shelter in the mountains. Meanwhile, Henry stays behind to search for Maria and Lucas in the resort's rubble. At first, Thomas refuses and does not want to be separated from his father. But Henry slowly explains to him that he must be able to take care of his little brother and take shelter in a safe place until their father catches up with them. As Henry continues his search alone, he ends up tripping over the rubble, which leaves him even more injured. Fortunately, he is picked up by a passerby and taken to the nearest bus station with the other survivors arriving there. Henry and other survivors share heartbreaking stories about the disaster that befell them. At that time, communication facilities are scarce, so they cannot contact their respective families. However, a European tourist named Carl, who has also been separated from his family, lends Henry his cell phone to call his relatives in England. Henry expresses his sadness and promises Maria's father that he will definitely look for his family everywhere. Thus, Carl volunteers to accompany Henry in search of Maria and Lucas and his own family, who are also on the beach when the tsunami hit. Returning to Lucas, he is taken by the nurse to look at the dead woman's jewelry, which most likely belonged to his mother. However, he simply cannot identify any of them, so he is taken to a room and subsequently reunites with his mother, who has been moved to a private room in the ICU. The nurse apologizes because Maria has to undergo surgery for the wound on her chest as soon as possible, so her medical record was mixed with someone else's. While Lucas waits his mother in the hospital, he accidentally finds Daniel, who has been reunited with his father. He is happy to see this and wants to tell his mother. However, Maria instead asks about the condition of her leg wound. Therefore, Lucas tells the nurse that his mother's injuries are getting worse. The nurse tries to reassure him that they will do their best and will operate on Maria soon. In the meantime, Henry and Carl are looking for their families in various places, but still cannot find them. They eventually arrive at the hospital in Toccoa, Pennsylvania, but the driver only gives Henry 5 minutes to find his family before they go to another shelter. Carl also gives him a piece of paper with the names of his family members, hoping Henry can find them inside too. As Henry searches for his family, Lucas recognizes his father from a distance while he is looking for drinking water for his mother. He immediately chases after him, but he is already late because Henry has returned to the car. Simultaneously, a vehicle carrying Thomas and Simon also stops outside the hospital and the boys get off so Simon can urinate for a while. Lucas, who is still trying to catch up to his father in the chaotic crowd outside, begins to despair and then screams as loudly as he can. Unexpectedly, his scream is spotted by Thomas and Simon, who are about to return to the car, and they finally reunite. Not only that, their father also finds the three of them together. After that, Lucas tells them that Maria is in the hospital and she is ready to undergo more surgery for her leg. They immediately go to her room and Henry encourages her pessimistic wife that she will be fine soon after the operation. The nurse approaches Henry's family and says that they are ready to operate on Maria. The family also accompanies Maria to the operating room while continuing to cheer her on. Meanwhile, Maria is getting more motivated after seeing another patient who wants to survive as the anesthesia puts her to sleep. She experiences flashbacks of how she came to be injured and how she surfaced the water while she is in surgery. Lucas tells Henry that he has something really important to tell his mother. They also wait patiently for the operation to be successful, even having to sleep outside. The following day, Henry tells Lucas that they are going home after the surgery. The family boards an ambulance airplane to Singapore so Maria can receive further medical treatment. They eventually meet a representative from their insurance company who assures them everything will be taken care of. While Lucas sees countless people outside the hospital, looking through patient lists. Later, Lucas tells his mother that Daniel is safe with his father. Because of that, Maria is proud of him for doing good to those around him. As the plane takes off, she looks out the window at the chaos left behind in Thailand. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave it like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.